We will continue with systemic lupus erythematosus. This is the third part. So in this part, we will see risk factors and how to diagnose the condition and certain diagnostic criteria which has been implemented for this condition and complications also. So first of all, lupus comorbidities, as it's an autoimmune related condition, along with the main condition, it's nothing but systemic lupus erythematosus or the lupus condition, the other systems also will be affected. So along with this condition or along with SLE, other systems also will be getting affected. So depends upon that particular system or that organ system, certain presentations also will be presented as comorbidities. Along with the lupus, some more other presentations, some more other clinical complaints also will be appeared over the body of the patient. So it will depend upon that specific system. If it is related with eye, along with the lupus condition, eye problems can be appeared. Pleuritis, if it is along with or the lupus along with the lupus condition, chances of occurrence of problems regarding to lung, like especially pleuritis condition or lung inflammation can be occurred. Along with kidney diseases can be happen. Rashes and photosensitivity, especially affected over integumentary system. With respect to joint, along with the lupus condition, joint pain will be presented there. If it is affected with the thyroid gland, thyroid diseases will be manifesting. Heart related condition, along with this, it is complete vascular system or circulatory system. Anemia can be happen. Blood clots within the vessels like antiphospholipid syndrome can be happened there, and along with the other musculoskeletal condition or osteoporosis conditions can be happen along with lupus. So these are some major comorbidities. Wherever lupus is present or whenever the lupus is affected in our body, one or more than two systems can be affected. So depends upon that system, the specific symptoms will be presented in the body also. Considering the risk factors, first of all, gender is more common in women, and with respect to the age, also affects people of all age. Specific that category in between 15 to 45 age group, this will be more common, and that too in more women. Depends upon the race, according to certain studies or certain publications, have been published by certain scientists, and certain studies also have been conducted. Depends upon that criteria, lupus is more common in certain African American regions, which is the people living in those regions, and Hispanics and Asian Americans. This was the result which was found out by or which was tracked by certain studies conducted in that particular regions. So some major risk factors depends upon the gender, age, and race. Apart from that, exposure with the environmental factors also one more other important component too. Considering diagnosis of systemic lupus erythematosus condition or lupus condition, anti-nuclear antibodies first test. Whenever there is a condition affected with the autoimmune system or autoimmunity, presence of anti-nuclear antibody should be checked out. So level of the anti-nuclear antibody or ANA should be considered as a first and primemost point or primemost component for diagnosis of autoimmune related condition. So any autoimmune related condition, ANA should be a point within the checklist. CBC with differential count, complete blood count with differential. So within that, each one or each sets of cells we can differentiate. Chest X-ray, if at all it is affected with one more system, as we have seen already in comorbidities. Likewise, any kind of chest related, specifically heart related or lung related condition, chest X-ray also should be included in order to differentiate the condition. Serum creatinine level, urine analysis, anti-nuclear antibody, specifically ANA. Within the ANA, different panels of components we should assess. Complement components, certain proteins which will be present. Apart from that, this is to analyze whether the treatment is properly working or not for the patient. If at all an autoimmune related case is treated with the medications, that the treatment is proper or not. In order to assess or in order to confirm that thing, we have to go with assessment of complement components. Specifically, C3 and C4 are two main complement components, proteins. Whenever it is affected with it is active along with the inflammatory condition, the level will be little bit slow, or the quantity will be little bit slow, specifically for C3 and C4. Antibodies to double-stranded DNA. Specific presence of antibodies like with the double-stranded DNA should be checked out. Coombs test specifically for with respect to the hemolytic condition, hemolytic anemia condition, lupus is affected or not. Regarding the circulatory or vascular system related condition, Coombs test direct should be assessed. Presence of cryoglobulins should be assessed specifically in the condition of autoimmune condition. ESR and CRP, erythrocyte sedimentary rate, along with serum reactive protein also, or creatine condition also, like RFT, LFT should be considered. Rheumatoid factor, antiphospholipid antibodies, and lupus anticoagulant test. These components are present or not. If at all it is an autoimmune condition within the blood, these components are present or not, we should assess or we should diagnose. So, in order to find out the presence of these components, we should go with antiphospholipid antibodies and lupus anticoagulant test also. Kidney biopsy along with imaging test of the heart, brain, legs, joints, muscles, or intestines. Antibody or ANA, it's an antibody. ANA is nothing but an antibody that can help diagnose certain autoimmune disease. Not over in lupus condition, other conditions also we can rule out while doing antinuclear antibody test. So most of the people with the systemic lupus erythematosus, this test will be positive. It will be give with an identifiable mark or presence of ANA or antinuclear antibody antiphospholipids within the blood. A positive ANA test can indicate other autoimmune diseases besides lupus. So other autoimmune related conditions also we can trace out. We are doing with ANA test. ANA is better for diagnosing disease than for predicting or tracking disease activity. So direct Coombs test, indirect Coombs test is there, another diagnostic test. So for direct Coombs test, along with any kind of hemolytic anemia condition patient is suffering, within that condition or along with that condition lupus also present, there we will go with direct Coombs test and indirect Coombs test. So blood sample will be collected from the patient with immune mediated hemolytic anemia. So patient will be having the other condition of immune related or mediated hemolytic anemia. So blood sample will be taken from that kind of patient, and antibodies are shown attached to antigens on the RBC surface. So specific peripheral blood smear is taking, the specific antibodies will be attached to antigens on that RBC surface. So with respect to the patients, washed RBCs are incubated with anti-human antibodies. Blood sample will be collected and these RBCs will be washed off with, which is removing the antigens, and it will be kept for incubation with mixing with anti-human antibodies. That nothing but Coombs reagent will be mixed to this blood sample, which is mixed with RBCs on the surface, which is nothing but washed RBCs. As a result of that, if it is positive test, if it is a positive result, what does it show? RBCs, it will agglutinate like anti-human antibodies. It will form links between RBCs by binding to the human antibodies on the RBCs. So as shown in the picture, certain binding structure it will be formed out after mixing with these Coombs reagent. Agglutination will be happening. This is the positive side, which is we can suspect in a direct Coombs test if it is positive. For the next one, indirect Coombs test or indirect anti-globulin test, the recipient's serum is obtained containing antibodies. So the recipient's serum will be taken, more of the condition from the blood sample, serum will be collecting, which is containing with antibodies. Within that serum, IgG antibodies will be present. Donor's blood sample is added to tube with serum. A donor sample also will be there. That blood is mixed with this serum. Recipient's IgGs that target the donor's red blood cells form antibody antigen complexes. So there is a peculiar action will be happening after the mixing of donor's blood and within the mixing of the serum also. Recipient's IgG immunoglobulin will be target towards donor's red blood cells. So the IgG or the antibody will be attract towards donors blood cells, and there will be formation of antibody antigen complexes as seen in the picture. To this anti-humans IgGs, Combs antibodies are added to the solution. To this solution, we will add with the Combs solution nothing but anti-human IgGs will be added. So what does it show if it is a positive result? Agglutination of red blood cells occurs because human IgGs are attached to red blood cells. Why? Because human IgGs will be more likely towards or likely to attract towards red blood cells. So agglutination will be happening of red blood cells mostly. So this will give a positive result. This is the performing how to perform with direct and indirect home test. One criteria has been postulated in order to find out whether this condition is specifically which is apt for systemic lupus erythematosus or not. So how does it will validate? How does it valid this condition? It will consider as a valid criteria. Minimum greater than or equal to 4 criteria. At least one clinical and one laboratory criteria should be there over the patient or over the case. Or biopsy proven lupus nephritis with a positive ANA or anti-DNA test. So within this criteria, more than 4 or equal to 4 criteria should be there. Within that, one clinical and one laboratory, or apart from that, biopsy should be there with the lupus nephritis condition or positive along with positive antinuclear antibody test or anti-DNA presence. So clinical criteria, if you see acute cutaneous lupus is there or not, we should see chronic cutaneous lupus is there or not, we should assess oral or nasal ulcers, non-scarring alopecia is there or not, along with some other systemic related conditions like arthritis, serositis, renal related problems, neurological problems, hemolytic anemia, leukopenia, thrombocytopenia. This must criteria, so clinical points should consider as clinical criteria in order to assess with lupus condition. Immunological criteria, if you consider presence of ANA with diagnosis wise or test wise ANA, anti-DNA, anti-serum, anti-phospholipid globulins, low complement level of the complement components, if it is low or not, that you should consider like C3, C4, CH50. Direct comb test should be done. It will be do not count in the presence of hemolytic anemia. If at all the patient is present with the condition of hemolytic anemia, if direct comb test, if at all it has done, that will not consider. Apart from that, the other criteria you should consider. So this is a diagnostic criteria with respect to clinical, with respect to immunological condition. So either with the clinical or either, along with the immunological criteria, like the laboratory criteria should be proven or should be validated. Certain complications of systemic lupus erythematosus condition, lupus nephritis with respect to kidney failure, blood clots in arteries of veins of the legs, lungs, brains, intestines, anemia, specifically hemolytic anemia, pericarditis, myocarditis, endocarditis with respect to heart-related condition, pleural effusion with respect to the lung-related problems, pregnancy-related problems or miscarriages will, will be happening, stroke-related condition, bowel damage with the abdominal pain and obstruction. In the intestines, low blood platelet count, inflammation of the blood vessels, pregnancy-related issues, problems to newborn. Specifically, it will happen to newborn. These are all the other complications. Here we will finish with the topic systemic lupus erythematosus. Thank you.